Hello, Roll Mithril here once again, getting back to Mag Mammal 2. If you're not too interested in a talky bit video, you can go ahead and skip this one. You might notice in the title this is a 0.5 video. What this is a bit of experimentation, trying to find a good way to work with the judge commentary. A lot of comments on the last video, they suggested that this might be a good workaround. Make the commentary videos kinda go-betweens. That way, people who only want to see the gameplay, they can watch those videos and skip the 0.5 videos, and those who want to see both the gameplay and the commentary, the option's there. It also lets the comments kinda get their own screen time, so that maybe there's a better understanding of why stages placed where they did in the overall ranking. So, we'll see how this works out. Now, this first video might be a little bit bloated because we're also going to be covering the judge bios, and I'm going to be answering a couple of questions I got on my first video back. So, first up, people have been asking about the quality of my voice, but the reactions have been very mixed. Some have said that it sounds better, others have said that it sounds worse. The long and the short of it is, I am using a different headset. It's made by the same company, Cyber Acoustics, but it has different hookups, things like that, so the quality might be a bit different. I would be interested in looking into a better quality headset, but I'd need some recommendations there, and I do want to stick to a headset that has both mic and headphones. The reason I'm not too interested in a desk mic is, for one thing, it's right in the way of the monitor, so it kind of gets in the way of my gaming window and what I really need to see. And second, remember, I do use the keyboard for a lot of PC gaming, so I'd be worried about a desk mic picking up a lot of thunderous typing. That is a bit of a concern. Second, for those who have been wondering about projects like Pikmin 2 No Deaths, those are still in the works. The problem is, remember, I do not currently have a functioning capture device. The Roxio Game Capture HD Pro that I have now, it's not quite as user-friendly as the Game Bridge was. It's not as simple plug and play. Now, Pink and I do have some plans to try to get it to work, but it's going to require a lot more experimentation, a lot more equipment, a lot more time, so that's something down the road, but it is something I will be working on. So down here in the options, apparently what I really wanted for text content was family-friendly, so we've set that. So, let's get into this. So, here on the status screen, I do have a question. What's the pink bow counter? Now, because I'm wondering if this has something to do with it, full disclosure, off camera, I did use one of those green exit teleporters, just to see if it was anything noteworthy, anything really worth showing on camera, and I'm not sure that it is. It basically just gives you a blank room that fits the aesthetic of that stage. Like, I used the one in Snowman, so the floor was made out of ice blocks, there was a magfly going overhead, and boom, just the energy element right there. That's all it was. The reason I'm wondering if this is connected is I'm wondering if this is a nod to I Want to Be the Guy, where if you played on easy mode, you wore a pink bow. So, is that like a counter of the number of times you've used those teleporters? The reason I doubt that is because I tried starting a new file over here, and it still showed me as having one pink bow even though I didn't do anything at all. Although I do wonder what it could be because I don't know of anything I've collected that would be. Pretty curious that, so if you know what that is, go ahead and tell me in the comments. I just kind of wonder what that is. So, let's get right into it. Now that I'm actually recording this time... Yeah, spoilers, I tried recording this before and only noticed after I finished that the recorder wasn't going. Good job! So yeah, first we're going to cover the judge bios, because over there, they talk about what they look for in a stage, and I think that's kind of interesting. So first up, Snowrunt Pyro. Hi, I'm Snowrunt Pyro, also known as Pyro, and I'm the one responsible for this game and its predecessor. For those that don't know, the concept of Make a Good Mega Man level was basically ripped off from the Make a Good level contests, which are based around Mario engines, Super Mario World and SMBX mainly. I'm super happy that my dumb little idea was able to get so huge with 81 submissions and so much more beyond it, but enough about the contest itself and more about me as a judge, because that's what this monitor is supposed to say. The levels I love the most are the ones that either take an existing idea and run with it in a crazy new ways, or come up with some new, really cool concept and do tons of things with it. I'd say I'm all about creativity, honestly. If you make a level that has nothing but Mets, Sniper Joes, and shield attackers, don't be expecting any high praise with me. Have variety and do something cool and creative. I don't like playing rompy levels very much, and even really badly designed levels with a cool idea I can still have some appreciation for. I also am not an artist, at all. If your level is made entirely of a glitched graphic, looped over as every single tile, I probably wouldn't care. If the gameplay is great, I couldn't care less about the visuals. This is why I'm insanely generous with aesthetics scores, lol. I don't have an eye for eye-searing palettes, or cutoff, or anything like some other people do, so any graphical errors will fly over my head. I'd at least like to think that I can definitely appreciate some great visuals, but sometimes I tend to forget about them. Because of this, if I play a level where its main draw is some kind of spectacular visuals or something, I'm going to leave the level thoroughly unimpressed. Too Long Didn't Read, if a level has a new or cool idea, you'll have me reeled in, and then do some great design with it, and I'll love it. Heart. I try to look for the best in every level, and as such, I ended up as the insanely nice judge again, just like the last contest. Though the times where I scored a level the lowest also amused me. This contest was super fun to judge though, and I hope you as a player can enjoy it. Next up, Joopy Hornet. Hey, I'm Joopy Hornet. I've been playing Mega Man games since 2010. I'm also a moderator on smabex.org and a co-owner of the Geometry Dash forums, but who cares about that stuff? Here's the thing about me. If you give me one level that's absolutely horrible and another level that has a ton of potential but fails in execution, I'd dislike the second level more. I'd rather be able to chuckle at a terrible level than be disappointed in one with a lot of promise and bad execution. That all being said, flashy gimmicks and custom assets alone won't earn your level a high score. The most important things are design and fun factor. To me, it doesn't matter that much how original your stage is or how good it looks. If it's badly designed and not fun, chances are it won't get a high score from me. And here's something else I want to correct. I did butcher this name. That is not a capital I, that is a lowercase l. So the name is actually Angel. I'm not sure why I interpreted that as an I. I had just watched some Faster Than Light videos, so maybe I was thinking of the NG from that. Anyway, Angel it is. Hey there, I'm Angel. If you haven't heard my name before, it's because I don't frequent Sprites Inc. At all, really. I'm a nerd who's been studying game design for a year, heard of the contest through Pyro, and has a ton of fun judging levels. And that's how I happened. Yeah man, that's nice and all, but what's your gimmick, may be your possible reaction. I aim to bring feedback to the table that not just analyzes the levels themselves, but also helps improve levels outside the closed realm of this contest. In competitions like this, people can learn from each other's levels and gain some sweet experience. To support that, my comments aim to encourage by focusing on how levels can be improved and how their greatest shortcomings can be sorted out. What I'm looking for in levels is clever implementation of creative ideas, but don't expect to see me going hardcore focus mode on that creativity aspect. What I kinda did focus on for many levels in this contest is how levels execute common design concepts, such as teaching and combining of mechanics and creating mutations of previously used setups. Naturally though, these technicalities aren't everything, because even a level that perfectly follows 4-step design can manage to fall flat in its enjoyability. To summarize that mess of a paragraph, I like creative stuff. I think proper implementation of game design techniques is important, and I believe that levels should first and foremost aim to be enjoyable to play. Quite a mouthful, I agree, but this is such a broad subject that I could write an entire paper on it. Overall, I had a blast judging this thing. There are some incredible levels up in the higher ranks that I think are must-plays if you want to have a good time, and they are insanely replayable as well. And even many of the less memorable levels show great potential. I hope you'll have as much fun as I did playing through what this contest has to offer. Gariri. Hello, I've been known as Gariri on the internet for the past 10 years. I've played many different games since that time. I have been making games from an early age, and I have been a huge Mega Man fan since late 2014. This has helped me learn various aspects of game making, including level design. I've used this knowledge to contribute to this game in the form of judging all levels submitted for the contest, and in the form of creating a few of my own levels to be played, with hopes that my comments will be helpful for the improvement of one's future level design, and that the stages I have made will be enjoyable to play through and to learn from. While judging, I considered that, without a doubt, the most important factor of a good level is how enjoyable it is to play. Frustrating and boring are the worst qualities your level could inherit, and for your level to receive a high score, it is required that it is fun, exciting, attractive, and creative. And finally, Ace Spark. Watcha folks, Ace Spark here, owner of the Sprites Inc., confirmed furry, possibly British, and most important to this, a massive Mega Man fan. Pretty much played and completed the majority of the series, own most of them too, so on an official front, I have a pretty keen idea on what I'm looking for out of a Mega Man stage. I've also created several fan games at this point, which have mostly been well received, so I know the effort it takes to build a Mega Man stage, and have a greater appreciation for those who would enter something like this. The key thing in building a Mega Man level is to listen to your audience, as 9 times out of 10 they'll spot things you would never have thought of, and an outsider can tell you where you've tripped up in design. Today, I am one of those outsiders. This was interesting to judge. Under normal circumstances, I judge fan games by the sum of their parts, which has led me to enjoy some games even with fairly glaring flaws in the past. Overall, I think everything going into MagMammal 2 makes this one of the best fan games ever made. However, since I'm only judging the parts here, I've found I've ended up far more critical than I would otherwise be. But that doesn't mean I'll only tell you where you went wrong. I feel people deserve to know what they did right, so expect some fairly lengthy comments from myself. What I'm looking for is either a level that feels like it came out of a Capcom game, or a level that is so out there in idea and concept, yet has the quality level to come out of a Capcom game. And if you exceed the quality of the official stuff, well, expect some high praise indeed. I also really dig a good boss fight. While their absence won't drag a level down, the inclusion of a good one will certainly boost a level up. Of course, don't make me expect a boss fight that never happens. I despise anticlimaxes. I apologize in advance for the walls of text. So I think it's interesting to see the different aesthetics that the judges like, what they focus on, and I'm interested to see how that will come into play with their commentary, with how they rank the different stages. So with that, let's go see the comments on Snowman. Okay, the glitching has already happened. Snowrun Pyro. Magnificent. Yep. Chippy Hornet. This is why global warming exists. Angel. Less a level, more so a collection of ideas. The main thing that sets it back in its current state is the lack of organization and testing. The level is littered with collision errors and enemies that can easily ambush the player. The ideas themselves, while not the most innovative, would easily find a good place in a level that was constructed more thoroughly, though. Gariri. Was this level submitted as a joke? The placement of all enemies, obstacles, and solid blocks are placed at complete random, and most of the latter are fake or invisible. It is extremely glitchy to the point that I can't figure out a way to finish the level without breaking it using weapons. With the exception of breaking this level, there's nothing enjoyable about it. It's irritating, the level design is absolute garbage, the graphics are terrible, and the level is barely functional. Somebody please wake me up from this nightmare. And Ace Spark. This is my first level. I'm a natural. If you notice the subtle weaving of the tile set and how delicate each invisible block is placed... Judge? Judge? I think he liked it. First place, here we come. So, yeah, there we go. So my own thoughts on the level... Like Angel said, there are some interesting ideas here. I appreciate trying to find interesting ways to use magflies. They always struck me as an interesting enemy, and like there were some cool things you could do with them. Just spamming them around death spikes, however, I don't think is a good use of them. Like, apparently what you were supposed to do in that area where I was face-tanking damage, you're supposed to lure a magfly over there and have it catch you as you fall so you can sweep under the death spikes without landing on the ones on the ground, and that's kind of a big ask. Other than that, I think there's a lack of focus here. Like, the stage is called Snowman, but other than ice blocks at the very start of the stage, the theme doesn't really carry. I mean, by the end we're having sandstorms from Commando Man's stage, so that seemed a little odd to me. And also, yeah, just in general, all the fake floors and walls. Walls that weren't where they should be, walls that were where they shouldn't be. It was kind of weird in that regard. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this one. So, anyway, just a note about the next video, because the next one we are playing the next stage over. I did that in the same recording session, that's why in the status screen I had 4 energy elements instead of just the one from here. And in that video, I again covered the judge comments the same way, but I will go ahead and be recording a 0.5 after that one as well. So, we'll cover those over there. So with that, thank you very much for watching, I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, fare thee well.